Colorado just dominated Colorado State, and I got to be honest with you, I'm pretty surprised, and I'm wrong. I made an early prediction video. We're gonna go over that. We're gonna go over the full video and the full game and kind of how things played out. But hey, Deion Sanders, after having a crazy week, after having F-150s do donuts on Folsom Field, after getting embarrassed by mini Patrick Mahomes and whatever they got going over there in Nebraska, it's safe to say that all this, the talking and the energy and even the craziness and theatrics of the last showdown between Colorado and Colorado State, it's all worth it now, right? When Colorado comes back in a win that they probably needed in a bigger time than any other time, they come out and dominate Colorado State. And it came down to a few things. My key takeaways that I kind of had throughout the game were, hey, Colorado needs to stay with the run game. Colorado State just ran out of talent, specifically at the quarterback position. And if you give Shador the time to throw the football, he is one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. And Travis Hunter, that's all I'm going to say. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. We're going to talk about some memes and things and different situations of this video. I think the tail of the tape of this one, and coming back to the whole thing where I was talking about me being wrong, I really predicted Colorado coming into Colorado State, hostile environment, with the emotions being high, and the way that this team has played over the last 2 weeks, even against North Dakota State where they looked abysmal. I really didn't think that this team, with all the transfers and all the situation, I was like, how many players from that last year's team with that slugfest happened, how many of those players are here to even have that type of emotion? This Colorado State team has grown together, right? Same quarterback, same Torrey Holton. First off, let's just go ahead and get that Torrey Horton. I don't know. I've said his name wrong 17 times, but look, it's clear to see that Horton was not 100% a go. And if we could put an asterisk on this entire game, not to take anything away from Colorado, but it was clear that Horton was not 100%. And I think the game would have gone a little better. You could tell Colorado State was using him sparingly, even though he was returning punts or returning kicks. He didn't seem to be the fulcrum of that offense when he's clearly heads, shoulders, knees and toes, the best offensive weapon on that entire team. So just put that off to the side. But continuing forward, let's just break this down. And I know I talked about some things, telling about them staying with the run game, talked about Colorado being able to throw the ball. And I talked about the reason why I thought Colorado was going to lose, and I really thought they were an undisciplined team that didn't have any emotions and couldn't rally after a embarrassing loss. I was completely wrong. They out-talented Colorado State. They executed Colorado State, and they came into Colorado State's field and they handled business. Let's go quarter by quarter. I got notes this time. Some people say I yap, so I want to make this a little brief as I go to the specific stuff. First quarter, abysmal Colorado start with their offense. I mean, they just looked rough. Colorado State comes out with all the momentum. They march down there into the red zone, but they can only get 3. I was really, really afraid when I first put on this game because I was like, well, everything I said in that last prediction, because again, I'm a Deion guy, I'm a Colorado guy. I want them to do good, but I predicted them not doing so well because of what they've shown on the field, and they were showing that in the first quarter. Early on in the first quarter, it just looked like, again, we're just throwing for no reason. We're not sticking with the run game. We're coming out looking like the same exact offense, right? So many underneath throws on 3rd and long, and this didn't. Again, it became a blowout, so it didn't matter. But just thinking about this, right, in my other videos, I was talking about creativity, giving Shador Sanders an opportunity, an option. It didn't seem like they were doing that on a lot of these 3rd downs in the early, at least in the first quarter. But obviously, we got to the second quarter, which we'll talk about, and things starting to kind of open up. Colorado goes away from the run game in the second, and then they come back to it, and it starts doing better. I think the tell of the tale with the half is that when they stuck with the run game, and I believe they introduced 2 different running backs, 2 new different running backs instead of the Ohio State transfer and the other guy they had running around back there in the last two weeks. So these are the first time these running backs got to get them some spin, and I think it was good. Now, and I think that's what I meant in these previous videos, and what I'm going to mean in this video: stick with the run game. It doesn't mean that you do it with the same exact running back in the same exact same way, in the same play, in the same way. No. Do different stuff. And the fact that Colorado came out with completely different running backs, hey, maybe that was the juice that they needed, because the running game was a presence there. And as the running game got to pick up, and you don't even need to dominate in the running game. you have to understand, as much as people call, the modern football game a passing league, if you cannot control the offense, give your quarterback some time, give him some breath, and keep those safeties and keep those middle linebackers a little more honest, you're not going to be able to open up those passing lanes in the way that Colorado was eventually able to do. So in the second, Shador was looking a little but then he started cooking it up. Travis Hunter, can I just say, he looked like a man on a mission. It's easy to say that he's one of the best players in college football, but specifically in this game, there was the emotion in the most positive way possible. You could see him, and this was before he was even scoring touchdowns, just pass breakups and big plays and big catches. He felt like he was in that game, and that was the biggest question I had leaving last game was, hey, are these players going to be committed? Is a guy like Travis Hunter, who's a shoe-in NFL player, is he going to really even want to show up? Is that not even disparaging on Travis Hunter, but is that even worth his time to show up to a coach that doesn't want to give your quarterback any options on third down? But hey, it came out. Travis Hunter did what he needed to do. He came playing with a lot of emotion. I like that a lot. Just to point out, this is when Torrey Horton's injury definitely becomes a lot more apparent. But this is also where we start to see the offensive line settle, and then we see Shador settle as well. Early on in the second, early in the first, you were seeing a lot of his tendencies when it comes to holding the ball too long, running and escaping the pocket too much. But clearly, and that's why the main takeaway, hey, when you give him time, he is easily one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, because with the time, when he started to settle in or late in the second quarter, it was just, oh, that was the Shador. That's the one that people keep talking about being a first, round draft pick, because it didn't look like in the first two games. But in this game, you could see it. With the ball placement was immaculate. He was making the right decisions, and it really, he just started churning at that point. But again, Torrey Horton, his injury starts to come a lot of apparent. And interesting, by the half, no sacks by Colorado. We get into the third. Colorado State, the quarterback, dog, and this is what I mean, it just wasn't enough talent. It wasn't that Colorado State, because in my earlier game when I announced Colorado State and predicted Colorado State winning, I just thought they had enough talent and enough cohesion to be able to get over the hump against the overly talented Colorado. But what it seemed to be is just the talent, it was just too much. Like, I know I sometimes, hey, they're going to sit you down and be like, hey, we're going to outwork this team. They might be more talented. I want you to know, son, sometimes you can be out-talented. And that's what happened in Colorado State. It just seems that for the quarterback, the lights were too bright. He wasn't making the best decisions. He wasn't doing the best things for his team. Compound that with your best offensive player being basically muted throughout the first half and going into the rest of the game. It's not a great a recipe. I do want to put another asterisk. A lot of face mask roughing the passer saved some awful drives and awful play calling from Colorado. Those drives flipped it, gave them immediate first downs, got them on the other side of Colorado State, and that's really what kept this game or kept Colorado scoring the way they would and the way they did. Because if we look back at this, I think this is more of a 14-3 game and less of the 28-3 that it is. But like I said, big takeaways. Hey, stay with the run game. And that's me telling you, if you're a Colorado fan, if you're not a Colorado fan, if you're whatever, stay with the run game, because it's going to do good things for you. Shador Sanders is one of the best quarterbacks in the nation with some time. And the lights were just too bright for Colorado State. Going into the box score and checking out some things here. Like I said, 22 for 39, 209 and 2 interceptions for the young Braden Fowler Nicolasi. He was talking that hot talk a little earlier, so we will hop back into there too. Shador Sanders, 36 for 49, 310, 4 touchdowns. The problem is, why are we asking Shador Sanders to throw 50 times against a Mountain West opponent? That's not going to look great. For as much as they looked good, as much as they commanded, and as much as it's important for mojo, momentum, and everything to not just commandingly beat somebody, but also beat someone who's your rival. And I think there's going to be a lot of positives there. I would be remiss to not point out the fact that Shador threw 49 passes, and we got to the end of the game, the issues that we saw in North Dakota State, in which they had an opportunity on the 2-yard line with like 8 seconds left with that Hail Mary. It reared its ugly head here, and it didn't really matter. They were up 28-9, so, I mean, it's not like they were going to come back. But why is Shador Sanders throwing the ball at all when there is under 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter? I don't know. Please, Deion, tell me. Please, the offensive coordinator, tell me, because it's not computing to me. If Deion Sanders, not Deion, if Shador Sanders gets hurt in these last few seconds doing some dumb stuff, I mean, everybody's going to be looking around pointing fingers. So I just didn't like it. I love to see them have more attempts than they had with both two games combined, with a total of 19 attempts. So 65 yards from Welch, that's the new guy, and Augustine, also new gentleman. Two new backs to get in there and do some good things. It really felt like, and give credit to this Colorado defense too. They started just shutting things down. The Colorado rushing defense, which I thought has been good, has been probably the standout for the defensive improvements from Colorado. Their run defense has been really, really stingy. They showed their not ugly head, but positive head, I guess you could say, when it came to Colorado State, and kind of neutered things the best way possible. So that was decent. That was good. That was bad.
It's 27.5.
Oh, wait, it's not coming out the right space. I just kind of want to look at some few memes as we close things out. Congratulations to Colorado. I was wrong. I predicted Colorado State winning, but Colorado came out with juice. They came what they needed to do, and they handled the rivals. Let's listen to some of these.
It was. They saw the reports.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go back and look at some of these things because and I love the confidence, by the way. 8 seconds left, 14-3, and you're giving Travis Hunter the too small after getting 2 yards on a third down play. Like, this kid's got some spunk. This kid's got some moxie, as you saw in a whole nother time zone there. But I'm appreciating it. I'll tell you who wasn't appreciating it. Them Colorado State fans not having the most phenomenal time in the world there. A lot of situations getting situated here. I gotta be honest with you, man. I gotta be honest with you. That was looking clean too. I gotta be honest with you. This is a great win for Colorado. This is a very important win for Colorado. I think this is important for momentum. It comes to the rest of the season, and just whatever else outlet they got going on and they got cooking. They got Baylor next week. Hopefully they can figure out the field situation and they get the F-150 tracks all pop off there, and they can find and figure something else out. Other than that, man, I think that's all we got. Shout out to Colorado. Shout out to Travis Hunter. Shout out to Shador Sanders. Oh, wait. Speaking of box score, I want to look at Shador Sanders's. Not Shador, Travis Hunter. 13 receptions for 100, 2 touchdowns, just because that's just how he does it. On defense side of the ball, 5 tackles, 2 solos, and he had an interception as well. I'm not sure why it's not popping up here. Travis gets his first interception. There it is. First interception of the season for him specifically. It's just pure domination. There's not really much else I could say here. Colorado takes care of business. I hope they take care of business against Baylor. Please keep making me proving me wrong. I'm hoping this team really gets the mojo and starts going on a run and make it pretty fun and make it pretty interesting. Make some people, make them Deion Sanders haters mad, because I am not one of them. I'm just someone who saw bad football, but I saw some decent football, saw some things that probably we should be concerned about if you are a Colorado fan. But hey, man, you get in the comments and let me know and predict Colorado's the rest of their schedule. What are they going to do? Are they going to win at for the rest of the season? Are they going to make the CFP? I don't know, man. But you leave a like on this video if you like it. Dislike this video if you didn't like it, man. Please give a prayer to Big Quinn. I'm a Texas fan. I need to be a loudmouth until we, surreptitiously lose sometime in the playoffs. But don't put that bad mojo on me. Pray for Quinn and pray for the SEC, because if not, Arch Manning is gonna run wild on you, son. Y'all be amazing.